Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. I usually come on in the morning, but I get caught up in work and drama that's common to the human experience. Anyway, blessings upon those. I hope you and your family are healthy and safe today, this afternoon, and everything is going well for you this Thursday, March the 30th, 2023. That your family is safe, that you're provided for, and that your health of your family is good. And speaking of health, blessings of those that work, blessings to those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders, who every day are out here saving lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks and wrecks clean and disease free. And those that make deliveries of important things for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue and deliver the teenagers and the children who are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on the profiteers of these things, and double curses on the perverts that create this heinous industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and mostly children on the streets of the United States, even this afternoon, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon. For theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. The New York Knicks defeated the Miami Heat 101-92, and it was a beautiful win. One of the best wins, in my opinion, of the season. Number one, it was an important win. The Knicks could put a nail in the coffin of any threat they had from the Miami Heat of losing the fifth seed or the sixth seed. So they're headed toward the playoffs. I thought yesterday 46 was the number, depending on who loses, but they could actually clinch it with a win in Cleveland tomorrow if other teams lose. But they're well on their way to the fifth seed. Let's just, cut to the chase there. This win last night was big in that regard. Along with that, the defense returned. Now, I'm going to say something that people may not agree with, and I've said it before. But I want to say again, if Emmanuel Quickley had been given the keys to this team from the start of the season, they would be exactly where they are now. And that's no slight on Jalen Brunson. It's just telling you how good Emmanuel Quickley is. Okay? 2 years ago, when he was a rookie, I was thinking to myself, he's a sixth man. He's going to be the future Lou Williams. He is going to be the future Jamal Crawford. Sixth man of the year. Possibilities. And then last year at the end of the season, he showed what he could do as a starter for the 7 to 9 games I think that him and Obi were playing when Randall was out. And people were writing it off because it was end of the season, didn't matter, blah, blah, blah. But these two cats could play no matter what. And Emmanuel Quickley has gotten the opportunity to show that. Okay? And the stats speak for themselves, but if you watch the game, I don't have to explain it to you. 40 points, game before last night, 24. Okay, number one, his defense has greatly improved from his rookie year to now. His ability to see the floor, I'm going to say it right now, is better than Jalen Brunson's ability to see the floor. What makes Jalen Brunson special is the footwork that is elite and makes him dangerous in every game, particularly he has shown in playoff games. That's what makes Jalen Brunson special. But look at this. Jalen Brunson's 26. He's in his fourth or fifth season. Emmanuel Quickley's 23. Where will Emmanuel Quickley be when he's 26? That's the thing I look at. Because he's still developing. Scary. I don't know what the Knicks have to do to keep this kid. He's certainly, there's no question in my mind, he's going to get overtures from other teams on a deal, because he's under contract. He's going to get overtures telling him, yeah, we're going to pay you $100 million. Come here and run the team. He's going to get that. Okay? It's up to Emmanuel Quickley. Some people still don't get it through their heads. It's not the Knicks that's going to decide to trade him or not. It's up to Emmanuel Quickley. The cards are in his hands. I think the Knicks put themselves in a bind by signing Jalen when you had Quick. Not only that, I had a couple people coming at me talking about, what you think about, more than one or two, what you think about Quickly starting with Brunson. And I say, no. No. What you really want, if you want to talk about best lineup, is Quickley starting with Grimes. But that's not going to happen. But that's the real lineup. Because not only do you get the offensive power, you get the defensive power from both of those cats. Last night, the New York Knicks held the Miami Heat to 92 points. That was without Julius Randle for most of the game. Now, again, I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I'm not saying, they don't need Randle. I'm not really saying that. But what I am really saying is we could survive quite well without him. That's all I'm saying. We could. And yes, he's all-star. Yes, he's all NBA. He's all that. But we ain't skip a beat last night. Miami was desperate for a win last night. And when Randle went down, the closing lineup last night was R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Hartenstein, Hart, and Quickley. And they destroyed Miami and locked them down. Look, it was Quickley, Hart, and Grimes that were guarding, taking turns like on switches and stuff, guarding Butler, Harrell, Duncan Robinson. Let's put it this way. Harrell was 6 of 16, 2 of 10 from the three-point line. Duncan Robinson only got 7 shots, hit 4 of 7. Okay, he was the best shooter they had, aside from Vincent, who always acts like it's game 7 of the championship game when they played the Knicks. That's Gabe Vincent. He don't play against nobody else but the Knicks. Don't worry about him. And then there was Jimmy Butler. He only took 10 shots, 5 of 10. Didn't shoot a 3. Scored 12 points. And y'all talking about R.J. Barrett can't be that good? Come on now. So that's what I'm saying to y'all. The defense went up several notches, and that was without Deuce McBride playing. So yeah, the closing lineup, and even Brunson, and I respect Brunson immensely, both as a talent and as a leader. It was Tom Thibodeau offered him to come back in the game, and he said no, they got it, and he was right. They did have it. Now, they didn't even unleash, really, Obi Toppin. He played 17 minutes last night, and he played well. He blew a couple of defensive assignments. But, in my view, you have to give him minutes to show what he could do. And I hope that against Cleveland, he gets that opportunity. Obi can produce on a very high level, just like Emmanuel Quickley, if he's given those minutes. And we're going to hopefully get the opportunity to see that, because I'm thinking they really need to sit Randle right now. There's no need to put him in. It's not like we can't win without him right now. They're showing they can. Okay, this was a desperate team, held them to 92 points. Okay, out-rebounded them 47 boards, to 35. 22 assists for the Knicks last night, low score. It was too many turnovers, 15 turnovers to 11. But that was because at the beginning of the game, Brunson was rusty. As you look at it, Brunson had 3 turnovers. Randle had 2 turnovers. RJ had 2. Grimes had 2. Hart had 3. But really, beginning of the game, Brunson was rusty, and it was kind of showing, And so, I think he should wait until Sunday, really, to come back against Washington on Sunday. Randle should wait to come back against Washington on Sunday if he's ready. If it's a high ankle sprain, sit him until the playoffs. Okay, there's no need to bring these guys in here just because. I don't even know. There's no need. You got Tom Thibodeau said we got plenty on the bench, plenty to handle any business we got. Okay, so right now the Knicks sit at 44 and 33, solidly 4 games ahead of Miami in the loss column for the 5th seed, solidly 2.5 games ahead of Brooklyn. The Knicks doing what we thought, what some of us thought they were going to do anyway. See, so now there's 5 games left. I expect them to go 3-2 in these 5. So nobody jump off buildings if they lose 2 of these 5. Don't trip. But 3-2 will get them to 47 wins. a little higher than our initial projection of 45 or more, but I did say 45 minimum, so they would accomplish that. They got Cleveland Friday night. That's going to be a tough game, but I am very confident. If Randall doesn't play, this is the thing. Honestly, Randall is able to carry them offensively when he's on. So can Brunson. But both of them are inconsistent, or in Brunson's case, just straight weak on defense. Okay? Randall's inconsistent, and he shows very little IQ on defense, though he has physical abilities. Brunson just, he's just limited defensively. Okay? But his offense is so elite, he makes up for it. But when you take those two out the equation and you put Grimes in there with Quickley, and then you bring a Josh Hart still on Mob Deep with Obi, and don't start over top, because you know what? The defense going to go up several notches. That's what happens. The defense goes up several notches. There's no doubt about it. Okay? So I'm not worried at all about Garland, about Donovan Mitchell, about none of them. And I told some of y'all was tripping. I heard some of y'all write me, Grimes plays good defense, but he can't shoot. Some of y'all need, oh my God, man. I told y'all, let the boy get his feet settled. And you're going to see he's an elite shooter. Look now. For some people, this act like it's a revelation. There ain't no revelation. We saw this kid could do this from his rookie year. He just needed time. Same with Deuce. You'll see the same thing from Deuce if he gets the time. Okay? But Grimes got it now. And look, what do we talk about? He's part of lockdown defense on the perimeter against Tyler Hero last night and against a Jimmy Butler. Then he scores 23 on top of it. And y'all, some of y'all griping that they didn't trade him for Donovan Mitchell. No, man. They did the right thing. They did the right thing keeping Grimes off the table. Honestly, RJ is a talent to me. Some of y'all seem to want to crap on RJ to justify trading him, which I feel is very sophomoric. You don't need to do that. If there was a guy that was available that's in his prime dude that could carry us to the next level, yeah, I'll trade RJ. If it's Kawhi or something like that, and he's available and he's ready to take the Knicks to the next level now versus 2 or 3 years from now, yeah, I'll trade RJ. Otherwise, I'm not trading him. I'm not trading him for somebody like a Cam Johnson, who's at his prime right now, but he's not going to move the needle for us like that. Okay? I might trade him for Mikal Bridges, but Mikal's not going to be available. Okay? He's not. The Nets ain't stupid. They're keeping him. So unless there's something out there that could bring us to the next level, I'm not trading RJ. But Obi could start. And if I'm correct, if Tibbs puts him in the starting lineup Friday, and you start to see him get 35 minutes, and he goes off, you understand? Then they're not trading Randall. Okay? I mean, it'll be a tough call, put it that way. It'll be a tough call because Obi was the first pick of the Dom. And he's got fans in the front office, according to Ian Bedley. Worldwide West is a big fan of his, along with the Dom. But at the same time, they love Randall as well. They put a $100 million investment in Randall. So I don't know how they're going to work this out. But Obi could start for some teams right now. But for right now, I'm glad we got him, because if Randall is out, this kid could step right in and do business. Okay? Then Josh Hart off the bench is playing in his prime, in his perfect position, and doing work from that position. Last night, 13 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's what you want from him, and you pretty much get that every game from him. That's why I know Tom Thibodeau, I feel like, over depends on him a little bit, but I understand. See, it's like, I'm not necessarily with it, but I understand. He's that good coming off the bench in Mob Deep. Last night, Hartenstein played 29 minutes and Robinson played 19. I ain't reading too much into that because Hartenstein, Hart, Quick, Grimes, and Barrett was flowing. So you don't want to break up that flow. And that's why even Brunson said, no, I'm not going to go in right now. Let them flow. And you're right. They was flowing. Okay? So, I can understand that, but that's not a norm. Mitch Rob could have did the same thing in Hartenstein's place. The one thing Hartenstein does better than Mitch Rob, though, is this cat sees the floor, man. This cat sees the floor and makes the right pass. He don't, necessarily protect the rim like Mitch Rob does. He don't provide the intimidation factor that Mitch Rob does. But offensively, he sees the floor. I mean, they credited him with 2 assists last night, but he really sees the floor very well. See, and again, running with that crew last night, they didn't miss nothing on defense. So I can get that. But yeah, man, RJ, this is the thing. RJ scores 12. Brunson scores 12. Randall has 3, right? Your leading scorers are Grimes and Quickley. And let me tell you something. If you depend on them to be your leading scorers, you'll get those type of numbers all year. Yeah. See, the key thing, if you watch the game, is if they start to get the ball to Grimes early. See, Grimes scored like 8 points in the first quarter. When you get him off early, see, he's going to play the defense. But a dude like that needs to get his shot off early. And he's not the only type of dude like that. There's a lot of stars in the NBA that they try to get off early. Matter of fact, that's how they do Julius Randle. They try to get him off early. They let him fire up his threes and stuff early to get him going. And then Julius Randle insists on shooting any technical fouls because he's trying to get himself in rhythm and get off early, even though he's nowhere near the best foul shooter the Knicks have. Even in the starting 5, you got Grimes and Brunson, better foul shooters than him. And then, so I don't know, but Grimes needs to get off early. He did that last night, and he started rolling, and he's already playing high-level defense. This kid is going to be a problem come playoff time. He's going to be a problem, okay? Because he's only in his second year. Yeah, we in good shape right now. See, I don't know what's going to happen in the summer. I don't know about Quickley. I don't know about Obi. I don't know what they're going to do, okay? Really, by right, by right, they should be trading Brunson and giving the keys to Quick. They really should, okay? Because if you start Grimes, Brunson, and you put even RJ in there, even though RJ's defense has been subpar this year, I admit. But if you start these 2 guys in the backcourt, but see, I understand they're not going to do that because Brunson and his father made a commitment to the Knicks organization. Knicks organization made a commitment to them. So that's not going to happen. See, that's the politics of it. But at the same time, you also know when you get playoff Brunson, you're going to be glad you got playoff Brunson, okay? But I hate to lose Emmanuel Quickley. I really do. So it's really up to Quick. I hope they offer him as much as they can. There's slots based on what his performance was and based on his draft position of how much they can offer him. See, for example, when Brunson, he was drafted in the second round, so the max that Dallas could have offered him at that time was $55 million. They should have offered it. They didn't. Then when they decided to offer it, was too late. He realized he can get more in the open market because it was halfway through that season. So he waited till he was a free agent and he signed with the Knicks. The Knicks could offer Quickley more than that. I'm not sure what the number is, but he could offer him significantly more because he was a first round pick. So I don't know what the number is, but whatever the maximum that number is, they need to offer it to him. Okay. If you're going to trade a contract, aside from a Foreign Yates contract, if you're going to trade a contract, I would rather trade RJ than Emmanuel Quickley. Honestly, I'd rather do that. Okay. And I'd rather keep Obi Toppin if I could. I'd rather do that if I could. But really, if you're going to add to this team, if you're not, because if you come back with the same team next year, that's a 50-win team. This team right here, this 50-win team next year. But if you're going to try to tweak it to get to that next level, what they need is a guy that is in his prime that can play at the 3 and sub in at the 4 for small ball 4. Or opposite, a guy that can play the 4 and has ability to play the 3 also, a big 3, large size 3 guy. But that's what you need, Again, I keep bringing up Kawhi Leonard. I'm not saying the Knicks are going to get him. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is a guy that's that size, a 6'7", 6'7", 6'8" dude with long arms that can guard fours and play the four if he needs to, but it's really a three. And that would be a guy that would fit, here. I mentioned Jeremy Grant also because most people forget. I don't know why some guy told me Grant can't play defense. You obviously have no idea what you're talking about because if you watched him in the bubble in Denver, he was the stopper. They put Jeremy Grant on whoever the toughest offensive player was, and that's why Denver was rolling. If it wasn't for Jamal Murray hurting his knee, they might have went to the finals that year. Okay, but that was the situation. They were putting Grant on there. He came into Philly and Oklahoma City as a defensive ace, and he still is. But when he went to Detroit, he became more of an offensive player. He wanted to show that he could play offense. I guess he's proved it to some people because some of y'all forgot he's a defensive specialist. Okay, so Grant, you get this guy, he's that guy. He could play the three and he could play the four. And he would be a guy that would not be the number one option. And that's what you want. You don't want him to be your number one option. He'd be, depending on who they traded, he'd be your third option. That's what you want. And he could sub in, if you're going to keep Randall, he could sub in at the four for Randall. He can play those minutes and he could, actually start at the three. My only problem is what we're going to do with RJ. But I'm thinking if you're going to get a Grant, you're probably going to trade an RJ. Okay, even though he's unrestricted free agent, sign and trade because of the salary. Because I do not, under any circumstances, want to trade Quentin Grimes. If you put Quentin Grimes next to a guy like a Jeremy Grant, and don't let IQ stay. And don't let Deuce go into the... Anyway, that's what I'm saying. So, right now, we're in good shape. The Knicks are actually ahead of schedule, but the talent, what happened is I hate when people say they've overachieved. Why? Because you thought they were going to be playing and they're in the fifth seed. That's just you not knowing what you're talking about, period. What it really is that talent has blossomed faster than we anticipated. I thought Grimes was going to be what he's doing, but I thought it was going to be next year. He's doing it now. He's doing it now. Okay? I thought Quick at the end of last year was showing he could play make, but he's bringing it to another level. All right? So the talent has blossomed faster than we anticipated. I thought RJ would be a little bit ahead of where he is, but I know eventually he'll get there. 2 seasons, he'll get there. But if you can get Grant, you're going to get there now. That's the thing. It's not about getting rid of RJ. Somebody's like, get rid of RJ. That's terrible language. That's Twitter language. If you want to upgrade now, you trade RJ for a Grant, or if you can get a Bridges. I don't want anybody on Charlotte except LaMelo Ball, and they're not trading him. I don't want the guy that beat his girlfriend up or whatever. I don't want that Bridges. No. And I don't think he could play the defense anyway. We need a guy that can play defense. I don't know if Bridges got that. Bridges is nice, but I don't know if he got that defense. He could dunk and all that. And he could play the 3 or the 4. But I don't know if he's that nice. Not only that, there's just too much. There'll be too many questions from the media about him beating up his girlfriend and a little kid, and that'll be a distraction. So, no. But they're going Jeremy Grant, who's going to be unrestricted. You got to look at him. Okay. So, anywho, I'm excited. Friday, there's 5 games. I can't tell you which 3 they're going to win and which 2 they're going to lose, but I'm expecting them to go 3-2 down the stretch, finish off the season at 47 wins and 35 losses with the 5th seed in hand, going into Cleveland for the playoffs round 1. It's going to be on at that time. Anyway, y'all enjoy your Thursday. Shalom.